It's time to address the haters.
These motherfuckers.
The guys out there working hard in the YouTube boxing community to disparage not only Anthony Joshua, but anything associated with Anthony Joshua, namely his promoter, Eddie Hearn, namely the DAZN app, you know, just the whole fucking ball.
Why?
These guys are working hard to not only disparage Joshua's performance, a performance against a top 10 heavyweight, top 10 Olympic gold medalist, a guy who's been around for years and has fought virtually everyone.
Yeah, I know.
Yet these guys have taken upon themselves to denigrate Anthony Joshua's performance yesterday. They're saying things like Anthony Joshua is, he's still a prospect.
With 3 belts?
The moment that Wilder fans realized that he would smash Anthony Joshua, you know, whole lot of fun stuff. And, you know, what really gets my attention about these guys is how truly delusional they are. And we're going to discuss that side of the argument in this video. I mean, granted that early on in the Povetkin versus Joshua fight, early on in that fight, I talked about how Alexander Povetkin, you know, he hurt Anthony Joshua. We all saw it. But Alexander Povetkin is not your run-of-the-mill guy. He's certainly a cut above Eric Molina. You guys remember Eric Molina? Yeah, that Eric Molina. The one that caught Wilder coming forward with his hands down and rocked him with a left hook. Let me ask you a question. Was he able to land any of those big left hooks on Anthony Joshua when they fought?
No.
Because according to the I Lick Ass for a Press Pass News Network, Anthony Joshua was just a prospect. He was rocked by a 39-year-old man. Wasn't Deontay... I mean, hold on for a second. He was rocked by a 39-year-old man. Hey, how old is Luis Ortiz?
39.
Because he did more than rock Deontay Wilder.
He's 39.
You see, what I'm addressing here is the uneven criticism that we see, we as boxing fans, those of us that are boxing fans. I'm addressing the uneven criticism that one faction of guys, one group of delusional fanboys loves to peddle consistently via YouTube. I deem it necessary to dispel their bullshit. That if you're going to try to criticize Anthony Joshua for being rocked by an Olympic gold medalist,
we could do that to Wilder.
but you make no light of all the different times that Wilder got rocked by somebody, all the different times that somebody exposed yet another hole in his game.
All the time.
I'm going to address the fact that you guys criticize Joshua for everything under the sun. I mean, this guy can't do nothing right with you guys, but you're perfectly okay with Deontay Wilder getting rocked by Eric Molina.
He go gold?
Who is
silver?
in no way, shape, or form
Bronze?
the same caliber of fighter as Alexander Povetkin. You guys are all eyes and all ears as soon as Anthony Joshua looks anything less than perfect. But you turn a blind eye to all of Deontay Wilder's flaws, all the different times that somebody exposed the kinks in his armor, if that's what you even want to call it. You guys turn a blind eye to all of this, but you're super critical of Anthony Joshua for facing a better guy than anyone Deontay Wilder has faced in 40 professional fights? Oh yeah, that's right. See, this is how it all boils down. Deontay Wilder's crown jewel currently is Luis Ortiz, and Luis Ortiz is a good fighter. I mean, I would never take that away from him. But if we hold Luis Ortiz side by side with Alexander Povetkin, it's very obvious who the more accomplished professional is and who the more accomplished amateur is. Luis Ortiz ain't no gold medalist.
Nope.
Alexander Povetkin is. Luis Ortiz, arguably his best win is Bryant Jennings coming off a loss. Whereas Alexander Povetkin, his best win, pick one. Marco Huck, Manuel Charr, Marius Wach, Mike Perez, Hasim Rahman, Ruslan Chagayev, Eddie Chambers, Chris Bird, Christian Hammer. I mean, do you guys even watch the heavyweight division? Do you actually watch this division, or do you just watch Deontay Wilder? Because I swear to God, What's consistent with Deontay Wilder's fans is the amount of dumb shit that these guys are willing to say to push this agenda. And I've long felt that there's no way in the world you've been watching heavyweight boxing this long and you shit on Povetkin but exalt Luis Ortiz? Who the fuck did Luis Ortiz beat? You know, you want to see what happens when you ask a Wilder fan that question? Observe.
Oh, so tell me, what's Wilder's crowned achievement? Tell me, what's his best scalp that he got?
Luis Ortiz.
You a boxing fan? You know about Luis Ortiz, right? What's his best win? Who he beat that he's so special? Tell me. Who he beat? I know his resume like the back of my hand. Do you? Who he beat that he's special? Name somebody. All I hear is crickets. Name somebody that he beat.
That's his. Nah, you got me right there, dog.
Who did he beat? That's the question, boxing fan. Who did Luis Ortiz beat? You tell me. Who he beat? Crickets. 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 Y'all gassing Luis Ortiz like he the number 2 in the division, but y'all don't even know who he fought. So how the fuck is he number 2? I've been saying this shit. Wilder fans are not boxing fans. I've been saying that. Y'all don't watch.
And this is your average Deontay Wilder fan. A guy who don't know jack shit about the division and don't even know jack shit about the people that Wilder's fought.
Nope.
But because Wilder fought them,
They special.
he's gonna inflate them to obscene proportions, even though he don't know shit about them. These are your guys that show up in the comments and say idiotic shit that they heard another idiot say. I mean, if you're gonna quote somebody, at least let it be somebody that's smart. Don't quote another idiot and be a bigger idiot for quoting them. Now, your even-tempered and objectively minded boxing fan will tell you that Luis Ortiz is a good fighter, a damn good fighter. He's an elite level heavyweight, and he is a very good scalp for Deontay Wilder to have collected. That's an objective-minded assessment of both of the, of the fight. That's about as calling it down the middle as you can call it. But once you start crowning Luis Ortiz to these obscene amounts, once you start thinking that Deontay Wilder's king of the hill because of Luis Ortiz, and you can't even name anybody that Luis Ortiz fought to back that shit up, it's very clear what's going on. You have an agenda, just like the I Lick Ass for a Press Pass news network. The same kind of agenda that they've got. That because you're over enthusiastic about a fighter who you want to spread your ass cheeks, you start going around denigrating everybody else in a division. Nothing is good enough unless Deontay Wilder did it. And that, my friends, is a fucking cheerleader. Now, as we go higher up in the hierarchy of Deontay Wilder's sycophants, we reach the I Lick Ass for a Press Pass news network guys. The guys that want to pretend like they're journalists when really they're more like
Guys that want to be on the payroll.
Pawns, I should say, in a fascist regime peddling propaganda, because that's what it comes off as. When you can
Talk shit.
sit there and try to overly criticize and meticulously dissect every little thing about Anthony Joshua. Oh, he doesn't do this good and he doesn't do that good. But you could watch Wilder get punched clean on the fucking face by Eric Molina. The same Eric Molina who didn't even get to throw a punch at Anthony Joshua. When you can watch Deontay Wilder get his eyes swollen shut by the likes of Johan Duapas, ignore it, make no light of it, and turn right the fuck around and try to throw shade at this guy for getting caught by an Olympic gold medalist like himself. You try to denigrate Joshua because a punch got through for Povetkin, but you've got nothing to say about all the punches that got through on Wilder? Well, that's a bit hypocritical, don't you think? Isn't that a double standard? And because there are so many channels like this that they attempt to be journalists when really they're just peddling propaganda for fighters that they like, for promotional companies that they like. Because there are so many channels like this, you get a high abundance of morons that show up in the comments of channels like mine saying ridiculous shit that they heard these guys say. It's for this reason that we as boxing fans have to take countermeasures. And these are those countermeasures.
A simple matter of fact that these are not boxing fans, they are not fans of the sport. Rather, they are fans of a particular fighter. They denigrate and insult the sport and the sportsman itself for love of a flawed heavyweight. Your personal passions do not take precedence over the sport. You are a liar and a shill, and we will expose you to the sunlight of the truth.
Do you know that you could denigrate Luis Ortiz for all the same reasons that these guys are denigrating Alexander Povetkin? Do you know that? Do you know that you could exalt Luis Ortiz for all the same reasons that you could exalt Alexander Povetkin? Do you guys realize that those two fighters are peas in a pod?
How so?
Now, granted that Povetkin is actually, it is a matter of fact, that he is more accomplished as an amateur and a professional.
He is.
Do you guys realize that shit? I mean, think about it. Luis Ortiz tested positive for banned substances not once, but twice. And so did Alexander Povetkin. Luis Ortiz is a very skilled heavyweight. Very good. But so is Alexander Povetkin. Luis Ortiz is a real good fighter in spite of his age because he's 39 years old. And so is Alexander Povetkin. So if these two guys have these kinds of things in common, you gotta ask a question. Why would Wilder's fans try to denigrate Povetkin or denigrate Joshua for having a moment of weakness against Povetkin when Wilder's moment of weakness with Luis Ortiz lasted a hell of a lot longer? I mean, Wilder came very close to being knocked out by a 39-year-old man. Now, if you look at that as something, if you're looking at that as a way to denigrate Anthony Joshua because, you know, Povetkin caught him with a good shot, then I could turn right the fuck around and say that shit about Deontay Wilder for Luis Ortiz. But that's the thing. I don't promote double standards. You do. I gave Wilder full credit for weathering the storm from Luis Ortiz. I gave him full credit. Whereas you guys, you refuse to give Anthony Joshua that same kind of credit. And it's because you're a bunch of fucking cheerleaders. Now, if you guys want to play that game, okay, let's play that game. Anthony Joshua only needed 7 rounds to take care of a 39-year-old man. In spite of him being a gold medalist, hey, fuck it. Anthony Joshua only needed 7 rounds for a 39-year-old man, whereas Wilder needed 10. And that guy wasn't a gold medalist. In fact, that guy was on heart medication. Do you guys really want to play this game? Because I don't think it's a game that you can win. But you keep trying it, though. And I'm going to keep pointing all this bullshit out. I'm going to keep making it known just how much propaganda, how much bullshit you guys are willing to spew to bend reality. All because you're fans of a particular fighter. Stop posing as journalists, you're not journalists. And stop posing as boxing fans because you're clearly not that either. What you guys actually are is a network of shills and sycophants and yes men who are enamored with a particular fighter, a particular promotional company. That is what you are, and that is all you are. And you pander to your subscribers because you're actually looking to generate revenue from them. Whereas guys like me, I can tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth because I'm not asking any of these guys for money. So I'm not obligated to say things that they want to hear. Whereas you guys, that's what you do, okay? You got guys that are actually waiting for DAZN to fail. Why? It's monthly boxing for only $10 fucking. It's access to fights anywhere that you are, not just if you're at home, because most of the time people aren't, but you can take your boxing with you on your fucking phone. And for some reason, guys like this boxing, what's this guy's name? Barbershop? Compilation? Conversation? Whatever? It's guys like this that want the app to fail. Why? Let me ask you a question. If Al Heyman came out with a PBC app that exclusively aired PBC content, do you think I'd want the app to fail?
No.
Why the fuck would I want it to fail? How do I benefit from that? But that's the level of sycophant that a lot of these guys are. That's how hard they shill. Which makes me wonder, if these guys aren't on the payroll already, they should be. Because they're working very hard to slander everybody not associated with Al Heyman. And for those that are listening, do not misconstrue this, because I actually have no problem with Al Heyman. Al Heyman puts on good cards the way that Top Rank puts on good cards, the way that DAZN and Matchroom are putting on good cards. Boxing is bigger than just the shit that you like, you tribalists. You know, I don't understand these guys. They're trying to make it divided. And really, that's just their own mindset being projected onto a sport which many different people in many different countries of many different races and nations and nationalities enjoy. Boxing is bigger than just the fucking 10 blocks, north, south, east, west, or wherever the fuck you live at. But these guys are tribalists. They have a tribalist mindset. They want to make it to where it's us against the world. Well, that's just your weirdo worldview. You understand? Boxing is a world sport. In fact, boxing is a world sport now more than it's ever been. You've got boxers coming from every corner of the fucking planet. Yet for some reason, I don't know. I guess they don't like it. I don't understand. I don't get it. But I'll say this much. Guys like me, it's really easy for me to expose you because unlike you, I don't pander to my subs, so I can say the whole truth and nothing but the truth because I'm not depending on their revenue. Whereas a lot of you guys are. You're monetizing your videos because you're looking to get paid. Thus, you're kind of selling out. You're not telling the truth. You're just saying shit that you know there's a certain group of people, they want to hear that shit. You're dishonest.
Obviously.
And guys like me see through you.